Hi, my dear students and parents. Today, I want to speak about a topic that is extremely important for every student who has just finished O levels and is now thinking about the next big decision in their academic journey, choosing the right A level stream. Now, whenever we talk about the biology stream, one thing happens almost immediately. The moment students hear the word biology, what is the first career that comes to their mind? It is doctor, medicine, or MBBS. And because of that, many students and even many parents start believing that biology is a stream with only one future. Some students even think if I choose biology, I must become a doctor. If I don't get medicine, then biology has no value. And biology is only useful if I enter medical faculty. And I want to describe today how it is wrong. This statement is very clearly a misconception, and this is one of the biggest misconceptions students have about their biology stream. Yes, medicine is one pathway, and becoming doctor is wonderful and respected profession. And also, biology absolutely can take you into medicine, but biology is not equal to only medicine. If you choose biology for A levels, you are not choosing one job title. You are choosing a subject that can open doors to many powerful career opportunities. And that is what I want to students to understand. Biology is not a stream with one destination, and biology is a platform with many futures. It can take you into medicine, dentistry, veterinary science, nursing, physiotherapy, pharmacy, medical laboratories, biotechnology, genetics, biomedical research, nutrition, food science, environmental science, and teaching, even agriculture, and many more pathways. So in this video, rather than speaking only about how to choose biology, I want to help students understand what biology can actually lead to in the future. Because I strongly believe that when a student chooses a stream, they should not choose blindly. They should choose with clarity, with awareness, and even with a proper understanding of opportunities ahead. Biology is the science of life. It helps us to understand the human body, diseases and health, genes and inheritance, plants and animals, microorganisms, immunity, food and nutrition, ecosystem and the environment. So naturally, when you study a subject that explains life itself, that knowledge becomes useful in many different sectors. That is why a biology student is not limited to one building or one profession. A biology student can work in a hospital, a laboratory, a research institute, a university, a pharmaceutical company, a food industry, a biotechnology company, an agriculture research center, or even an environmental organization, and especially in education sector. So let us look at major pathways one by one. Right, let us start with the most obvious one. Of course, one of the biggest and most competitive routes after doing biology is medicine. If a student truly has the passion for it, learning about the human body in depth, understanding diseases, and treatment, working with patients, it taking responsibility, making decisions under pressure, and serving people directly through healthcare, then medicine can be a fantastic career. A doctor has the ability to diagnose, treat, manage disease, saving lives. And it makes a meaningful contribution to the society. So, yes, medicine is absolutely one strong route through the biology. But here's the important point. I want students to understand medicine is not the whole story of biology. It is only one branch of a much larger tree. Because sometimes students think, so if I don't get medicine, then there's no point of doing biology. No, that is completely wrong. A student can do biology and still go into many other respected, rewarding, and highly valuable careers. So, the first thing I want to break in this video is this doctor only mindset. Biology opens doors to many healthcare professions beyond medicine. Now, let us say a student likes health sciences, they like the human body, they like the idea of helping patients, they enjoy biology, but maybe they do not specially want to become a doctor. Still, biology gives them many options. Dentistry, dentistry. Dentistry is one of very strong pathway. This is not just teeth. Dentistry is a professional healthcare field involving diagnosis, treatment, oral surgeries, prevention or patient care, and long-term health management. So, for students who like healthcare, patient interactions, and practical work, dentistry can be an excellent option. Then we have veterinary science. Biology is not only about human life, as you know, it is also about animal life. Veterinarians diagnose and treat diseases in animals, working with pets, livestock, and sometimes wildlife, and also contribute to animal health, agriculture, and food systems. So, if a student loves biology and also has a genuine interest in animals, veterinary science is a brilliant pathway. Nursing, another major area. And I think students and parents should understand this properly. Nursing is not simply helping doctors, it is a highly skilled healthcare profession involving patient monitoring, treatments, support, communication, critical care, long term patient management, and education globally. Nursing is one of the strongest healthcare careers with very high demand. So again, biology opens a very meaningful pathway there as well. Then the next one is physiotherapy. This is a field I always feel students should hear more about. A physiotherapist helps patients to recover, reduce pain, improve physical function, and regain mobility after injuries, surgeries, strokes, or neurological problems. So, if a student likes biology, muscles and their movement, rehabilitation, exercise, sports, helping people to recover physically, then physiotherapy can be an excellent career path. And similarly, there are other health science pathways too, such as speech therapy, language therapy, rehabilitation sciences. So, once students understand the bigger picture, they realize biology is not just one route, it is a whole group of healthcare paths. There are students who genuinely like science. They enjoy practical work. They like analysis, investigation, and understanding disease. But they may not want a career where they are constantly working directly with patients. Very common case. For those students, biology still has very powerful opportunities. Medical laboratory science, biomedical science. Think about modern medicine for a moment. When a doctor wants to confirm a diagnosis, what happens? Blood tests are done, urine tests are done, tissue samples are analyzed, microbiological tests are carried out, hormonal and biochemical investigations are performed. And who is handling these things? Medical laboratory professionals. They are the people who helps to identify infections, disorders, hormonal imbalances, metabolic diseases, and many other conditions. So if a student likes lab work, scientific investigation, precision diagnosis from the laboratory side, working with biological samples and data analysis, then medical science or biomedical science can be a very strong career path. And I always tell students one thing: a hospital does not function because of the doctors alone. Remember this one. It functions because there is a whole scientific team behind the system. Laboratory science playing a major part of that team. Biology also leads to pharmacy and pharmaceutical careers. Another major area students should know about the pharmacy. A pharmacist is not a simply someone standing behind a counter handing over medicine. A pharmacist is a healthcare professional who understands how drugs work, correct dosage, side effects, drug interactions, safe use of medicine. And doctors diagnose those prescribed, but pharmacists are the experts in medicine themselves. Pharmacy can lead to work in hospitals, pharmacies, pharmaceutical companies, safety control and precautions. And then beyond the pharmacy, there is also pharmaceutical science. This is very important because this involves medicine, development of drugs, formulation, quality assurance, and testing safety and effectiveness of this drug. So, if students are interested who in biology wants to work with medicine, healthcare products, and pharmaceutical industries, biology gives a strong foundation for that too. One of the biggest future pathways in biology is biotechnology and genetics. So let's talk about that. Because when we talk about the future of science, healthcare and innovation, two major areas stands out: biotechnology and genetics. Biotechnology is basically the use of living cells, enzymes, DNA or microorganisms to create useful products and technologies. This includes the things like vaccines, insulin production, molecular diagnostics tools, disease detection, genetically improved crops or animals, industrial enzymes, and biological research technologies. For students who love molecular biology and the practical sciences, innovation, and technology, biotechnology is very exciting career path. This is where biology moves beyond the textbooks and become a part of the future and basically the industry. Then the genetics. Genetics helps us to understand inheritance, genes, mutations, genetic disorders, genetic changes, prenatal diagnosis, personalized medicine. We learn about that. And now think about the direction the world is moving in. Modern medicine is becoming more and more gene based, tailor made, and personalized. So that means students who are fascinated by DNA, their mutations, molecular biology, genetic disorders may one day work in one of the most advanced scientific fields in the world. So when students study biology, they are not just studying for an exam paper. They are building the foundation for some of the most modern and rapidly growing careers in the future. Now I want to talk about another pathway that many students do not think about: research. Not every biology student wants a fully clinical career. Some students are naturally curious. They want to ask, why does this happen? How do these genes affect health? How do these cells communicate each other? How do microorganisms cause diseases? How can new treatments can be developed? And how can we improve diagnostics? Those students should know that research itself is a career. Biology can lead into biomedical research, cancer research, microbiology research, immunology research, genetic research, plant science research, environmental research, and this is important to understand. Every medicine we use, every vaccine we use, every test we use, at some point it came from a research. So, for a student who loves asking questions, investigating, discovering, and going deeper into science, biology can lead to a very meaningful life in research and academia. Now, let us move into another area where biology is extremely relevant: nutrition. Biology can lead to careers in nutrition and dietetics, we call. This field is all about understanding how food affects and the growth related diseases and prevention of these diseases, recovery, sports performance, long term well being. Nutritionists and dietitians work with diabetic people, weight management, child nutrition, maternal nutrition, sports nutrition, and the community. So, if a student likes biology and also have an interest in food, health, prevention, and lifestyle related well being, this can be a very rewarding career path. Then there is food science. Students often forget that biology has a huge role in the food industry. Food science includes food safety, quality control, microbiological testing, nutrition values, shelf life improvements, and preservation of food. So again, biology is not only taking students into hospitals, it is also taking them into the industry, production, innovations. Then next part, public health. Public health is about protecting not just one patient but whole communities. It including disease prevention, vaccination programs, health education, maternal and child health, epidemic control, nutrition campaigns. So if a student wants to use biology to create impact on a large scale, public health is a very powerful field also. Then there is agriculture, plant science and agricultural biotechnology. Let us think practically. One of the biggest future challenges in the world is food security. How do we improve crops? How do we manage plant diseases? How do we increase food production sustainably? And how do we respond to climate changes in agriculture? All of these require people with strong biological knowledge. So, for students who are interested in plants, crops, agriculture, food production, and sustainability, biology can absolutely take them into that direction as well. And finally, biology can take you into teaching and academia. So, I want to mention a pathway that I personally think deserves a lot of respect: teaching and academia. Every doctor, every pharmacist, every physiotherapist, every scientist, every researcher at some point they were taught by a teacher. So if a student loves biology, also has the ability to explain clearly, guide other people and inspire students by communicating the science effectively, then teaching can be a wonderful career. So it can be lead into school teaching, lecturing, university, educational institutes, scientific communication, research. So becoming more, this field is becoming more and more powerful through online teaching, YouTube, digital learning platforms, and creating educational contents. So biology creates opportunity there also. So finally, how a student can decide biology is the right stream. So after hearing all these pathways I just mentioned, the real question becomes, how do I know whether biology is right stream for me? My answer is very simple. Do not choose biology only because someone else told you to, or the society says it is the prestigious, or your friends are choosing it, or because doctor sounds good. Choose biology if you genuinely feel interested in the subject. Ask yourself, do I enjoy learning about the human body, about the diseases, about the animals, about the ecosystems? Do I like understanding causes, the processes and mechanisms? And most importantly, can I commit to a subject that needs consistency, discipline, and real understanding? And then ask this question: what kind of work do I see myself enjoying in the future? Direct patient care, lab work, research, food and nutrition, environmental work, pharmacy, teaching, biotechnology, or innovations. Because the truth is this: Success does not come from choosing most famous career. Success comes from choosing a path that matches your interest, your strength, and your commitment. Before I finish, I want to leave you with one final thought. Don't choose biology because someone else tells you to. Don't avoid biology because you think it's only for doctors. Choose it because you are curious about life, because you enjoy understanding how living things work, and because you want to build a future where you can make a real difference. Remember, the right career is not the most popular one. It is the one that matches your passion, your strength, and your purpose. So, if you found today's session helpful and would like to learn more about biology, career guidance, and especially Cambridge and Edexcel biology lessons, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel Biologic with Thilina. Until then, see you, my dear parents and students.